All right, here's the budget for April of 2019. This one's going to change quite a bit. If you haven't watched it yet, go back and watch my March budget review because that explains that my income has changed so much. The first thing we're going to do, I am getting Adsense this month, so let's go ahead and add that in. And I'm expecting to get 152.16. It always somehow varies by like a dollar or so. So we'll put that in. Cool. All right, so that helped out a little bit. However, as I talked about in the past video, I'm not going to be doing grocery delivery. I'm not expecting to get anything in this category at all, and I don't expect to do it again in the future. So I'm actually just going to take this off here completely. All right, so then paycheck. This one's going to be a little bit complicated because I'm working a lot of overtime at work right now. But with that being said, I have a paycheck that comes in on the 15th of the month, and then I have a paycheck that comes in on the last day of the month. Although there is some talk that we might get that one a couple days early. So the way that it normally works is I have one paycheck with 80 hours and one paycheck with 88 hours on it. So let's see, 80 plus 88, and then I make 15 an hour, so times 15. Gross, that's $2,520. I do have a tiny portion, like $10 or $20 that comes out for benefits, but let me see here. The way that I normally estimate this is I multiply it by 0.9, and that is roughly about what it is. So 2268 is what this is saying. Keep in mind, it will be more than that. This is if I just worked 40 hours, but obviously I'm working more hours and I'm working overtime. So that is not quite, I mean, I'd say it's going to be at least 2,500, if not 3,000, but just to be on the safe side, I'm going to leave it this way. And then rideshare income. So I'm not going to take this off here yet because rideshare income is both my recruiting stuff and actually driving. I'm not going to drive for rideshare this month, as I discussed in my March budget review, why I'm not doing that anymore. But I am going to leave it on here because I do have 2 recruits for Lyft that if they get their stuff completed, then I might get $100 each for them. But that's after everything's cut. So you'll see here, as of right now, before we changed expenses, we're negative $465 for the month. That should average out once this overtime comes in. But there's a couple new income sources this month. Number one is I've signed up for TaskRabbit. And the biggest thing on there, the thing that has the most demand, is putting together IKEA furniture. We have an IKEA here in town, and that does pay $19 an hour. So I'll see how many gigs I get for that. I'm going to be working as much overtime as I can. So like I said, this is going to go up. And then I do have Kristen Marie. I'm going to link her channel up above to thank for helping me out, for getting me signed up to do VIP Kid. I'm not approved yet, but on April 14th, I believe it is, I have a training session, and I'm pretty much counting on I'm getting that, which is going to help me out. So really, it's just going to be April that's a little light on income, and I've got those 2 things on the horizon. Neither of those things I have to use my car for, so I won't have the expenses that I've had with all the other gigs I've been doing. So let's see here. AdSense, paycheck, rideshare income. The one thing that I do want to create here is a new budget, and I want to referral income. Okay, so I have been doing a lot of recruiting for Instacart because it's become now a lot more profitable to do that than for Lyft. And I am expecting to get $1,100 this month for that. I have one guy who's almost complete who is getting me $1,000, and another guy who is doing $100. So now keep in mind that although I am going to have this on here, and maybe I'll even have any more, I'm splitting the bonuses with these people. So I will have $550 instead of 1,100. And then I do also have to put money away for taxes on that. All right. So let's go down here. Auto insurance, same. And I want to announce this. I've got to say the first couple days of the month have not gone so well. But I'm going to reduce this from 90 to 30. And the reason I'm doing that is because through my work, because I work downtown, I was able to get a bus pass. And I'm actually going to be able to basically drive not hardly at all. And I will be able to take the bus to and from work every day. It's pretty much a straight shot. And it's so much nicer now that starting tomorrow, it's going to be warm. And I don't have to freeze waiting for the bus. But this is going to save me a ton of money. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but when I crunch the numbers, it's something like $300 a month. It's going to save me when I factor in future maintenance and stuff and depreciation of the car. So this will be great. Now, let's see. So that's changed. Bills and utilities. I'm just going to leave it where it is right now, but either this month or next month or sometime in the near future, this will be able to go down a lot. If I remember right, I just paid the gas bill, which was $45. The budget amount for that did increase to $50 from here on out. And the electric bill I just got today. So I didn't get to pay it with the last paycheck, but it's like $29. So I'm just super frugal with my utilities. Let's leave it at this for this month. Or actually, yeah, no, we'd be safe to knock this down a little bit. Let's take this down to 150. Not 1,500. All right, so we're still a little bit balanced. All right, and then my phone, this has lowered. So the only thing is I'm a month behind on it still. So I can't change this until May, but this will be able to go down to about 75 next month. Student loans got to stay the same. Although I will say now with the higher payment, I'm actually seeing a little bit of progress. I'll be able to go over that with you guys on next, with April's budget review. But even though I had an increase in interest rate too, it's still making a little bit of difference where before it just was like keeping it the same amount. Fast food, let's keep that there. Groceries and restaurants, keep it there for now. I'm not planning on doing anything doctor related that's going to cost money, and I'm not giving out any money. Rent is going to be the same. Renter's insurance looks like that's already come out. That's going to be the same. Storage. Business expenses, honestly, like I'm going to leave, well, if I'm going to be completely honest, I've got to put that $550 in there. So 30 plus 550. That is considering the bonuses that I have to pay out, splitting those bonuses with these people. So that probably put us negative again. Oh, no, okay, it's still 170 left over. And then clothing, I need clothes badly. And Hollister does have their $25 jean sale going on right now. I'm tempted to just buy a pair, but things are tight this month until I get those 2 new jobs going, so we'll see. And then as of right now, well, I'm not going to set a budget for everything else, but there is one other thing that I do want to mention on here, that I am paying taxes this month, and I have that account for my self-employment taxes where I have money saved up. So you'll see, and it'll be in everything else on the monthly budget review, that there's money that I'm paying out that wasn't accounted for up here. It's just a one-time thing though, so I can't really set a budget for it. But I do have to start paying quarterly taxes because I'm self-employed. So the first one is on April 15th, and then I don't think I have to pay again until June or July, something like that. But I will start doing that now. When I filed my taxes, I ended up having to pay like a $55. I think it was like a some sort of penalty for not filing quarterly when I had so much self-employment income. So the other thing that I need to figure out here is the emergency fund. This is approximately the amount that I've been contributing, and that is that each month I have roughly 168 hours, which is an 88-hour paycheck and an 80-hour paycheck. And so it's 168 times 2. And then this past month, March, when I set this, was a little weird because I also got paid a third paycheck in that month. That's why it's more. But also, I've been doing $1 per hour worked that went to the emergency fund, and then $1 per hour worked, which went to pay myself back from the time period from about January 2017 to October 2017, when I should have been putting $1 per hour work toward my emergency fund, but I just couldn't afford it. Now, I got to the point where I was on track, and as of today, still am on track, to get that all paid back to myself by August. However, and it may just be for April, it may just be until this other income comes in, but because I do need to make some cuts in my budget, because not counting the taxes, I only have $170. So that doesn't account for much of anything that could go wrong here. I need to decrease some things. So what I'm going to do is I am going to lower the amount for 1 month that I'm putting toward my emergency fund. So what we're going to do is adjust this goal, and we're going to take the 80-hour paycheck and the 88-hour paycheck. That's $168. So literally this month, it's just going to be $1 per hour worked. So let's go over to the goals, and we'll have to adjust these. Okay, so edit this goal. Okay, so monthly contribution, and we can adjust this next month, $168. Okay, so that just sets me back on the completion date of that, but once we see it in the budget, it'll be great. Now, there is one other thing that needs to be changed here on the goals, and that is, and I should have done it last month, but last month, the second student loan, which is this one, the payment went up. It was $78. So let's go ahead and change that, because it is now 90/30. I'm actually going to put 91. Yeah, no, that's okay. As a goal, this is fine. So yeah, let's do that. Okay, so those are edited. And then let's switch back over to the budget here, and that should straighten some things out. Okay, so left over 469. Obviously, I always have expenses that don't fit into some of the categories, and they're down here in the everything else. And this is not going to include the taxes, but I do already have that money saved. It's just my net for the month is going to look off, but it's not going to be counted in this $469. So it will be a tight month, but with taking the bus most of the time, continuing to try to limit my food budget, and cutting back on saving for the emergency fund, then that all is pretty much balanced. But one other thing that I'm going to be working on is I am still putting all of my extra money that I get in overtime toward my small credit card, and there is a possible chance that that is going to get paid off this month. So that would be great because I am thinking probably $500, maybe more in overtime this month. So that'll get paid off way early. It was supposed to be paid off in August. And then as far as the income goes here, I know I said that I wouldn't do Uber or Lyft or Shipt or Instacart, but I'm not going to let it get to the point where I can't pay for something. If it comes to the point where I have a credit card payment or a car payment or something like that due, and I don't have the money for it, I will go out and I will do that. I don't think I should have to. I think I will barely have enough money to cover everything else. But if I don't, then I'll go out and I'll drive and I'll get some money and cash it out and go pay that bill. So it's great that I have those options there if I absolutely have to use it. Now, for next month, for May, I will have started working at VIP Kid. So I will be doing a work from home teaching sort of job. I will also be hopefully still working a lot of overtime at work. Hopefully they just leave that offer open because for the last week they've let us work as much as we want. And that is also I'm able to do from home, although of course I don't have internet at home. So I go to a library or I go to Starbucks or sometimes if I'm already downtown, I go in the office in the middle of the night. So I am making all this extra money. It's just going to be a tight month. I'm just going to have to get through it. But by the end of the month, I'll be back to having a couple more side jobs. So just everything going on with Lyft kind of threw a wrench into everything, but it shouldn't be too much of a hiccup. So that's it. I hope you guys think that I made an okay balanced budget. I honestly didn't know how this was going to turn out. I thought it was going to be a thinner margin than that, but glad it worked out. I should also have quite a few new videos up. I mentioned them at the end of the budget video, but there was that one that I forgot. It's already shot and I'm just in the process of editing it. Should be up around mid-month in April, but that is about my new job to tell you guys like what it is that I do and how much I make and how that affects me financially. So stay tuned for that.